And welcome in to another episode of Off Script. My name is Zak Herbstreit. Ladies and gentlemen, USC fans out there, today I had the opportunity to talk to your leader, quarterback, Jayden Maiava. But before we get into the video today, if you haven't already, do not forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video. It really helps me out a lot, so I appreciate you guys. But without any further ado, let's get into the video. Well, let's get into it here. Obviously, from Hawaii, currently in Hawaii. In your opinion, what would you say? Give me your top must-dos for someone going to Hawaii. I want just for off the dome. What you got for me?
Hike Cocoa Head. I'll probably say go get some good eats. Get some raw fish, some poke
Yeah,
bowls. I think, yeah, that's the first things that came to my mind.
first thing come
I'll
to
go to
mind.
the beach for sure.
Go to the
Yeah.
beach. Does that also include body surfing, like surfing in general? Are you a body surfer yourself?
Yes, I am. I am a body surfer. Yeah, you got all that. You got long boards, short boards. Yeah, all of it here.
It's dangerous though. It's dangerous. I feel like as a kid myself, growing up in the Florida, small little puddle waves, and then going. I've been to Maui. I haven't been to the Big Island, but Maui, like you go to there, it's a ramp up. It's a step up. So
Yeah.
seeing those
Oh
waves,
yeah, no
bro.
doubt.
I mean, I sprained my ankle. Body surfing in Hawaii. I had to crawl up on
I
the
mean,
beach. It was nuts. It was nuts.
I did I was like riding a wave and I did like the scorpion, so it wasn't fun at all. But I mean, we all learn.
It's good football conditioning. You get used to getting hit a little
Yeah,
bit. Yeah. But I
no
want to get
doubt, no
in
doubt, no doubt.
to talking about you a little bit more. An interesting fact that I found out just researching you, you were the first Polynesian quarterback to start at USC. What does that mean to you? Obviously, it's got to have a lot of pride for you.
Yeah, it means a lot, just for the Polynesian culture. Just there was a lot of Polynesians that have been through the program of USC. There's a lot of Polynesians there right now. But me being the quarterback and uh, whatever. But it means a lot though. It means everything. It's I don't take it lightly. So I think it's big shoes to fill, and I'm willing to continue to hold on to that and continue to keep working.
For sure. And I think it's cool. You're almost like a symbol for these younger kids growing up on these islands in Hawaii, the Big Island, Maui, and seeing that you have made it. You are at this Big Ten school and being extremely successful. It's kind of like, well, I can do this. It's really cool to see. But I know you're not a fan of
Yes.
talking about yourself in general, but what would you say is your greatest strength that you bring to this USC team this year, or maybe just in general?
Um, I'll probably say my competitive spirit. Just how competitive I am, and I really hate losing. I'm sure everybody hates losing, but not as much as I do. So I think just bringing that to the table, and letting my teammates know and the coaching staff, they all know that it gets real competitive. We don't get let off pretty easy. So I think it requires our best every single day, and the players know that. So the I mean, Coach True, the strength coach there, just he's the same way too. So I think we compete every single day at SC. So
Yeah,
regardless of what it is, in the weight room, on the field, off the field, academics, whatever the case may be, they know that when it's time to compete, it's time to compete. So yeah,
for sure. Yeah, for sure. And I see that. I see those hype videos throughout the spring. You're right there in there, man. You're getting after it, and I love to see it as a quarterback too. Just the leadership aspect.
yeah.
I do want to ask more on the quarterback position because it does require a strong sense of leadership. What does that leadership look like for you? Is it more of a rah rah kind of leadership, or you lead by example? What does that kind of look like for you?
It's a mixture of both. Just you never want to force anything, but it's really just you want to find the right times to do it. You don't ever want to when the team's doing good, you don't always want to speak up when the team's doing good. What about when the team's doing bad? Who's going to speak up then? You know what I mean? So it's a little bit of both. When the team needs it, we just kind of have a. I think I have a really good feel on whenever the team is, whatever the case may be, whatever the team needs, they like. I think I got a good feel on when it's time to step in and lead, and when it's time to just, we all just come together and, work as one. So
Yeah, for sure. I feel
just
like you have definitely gotten more comfortable watching you over the past couple years in that position. Maybe when you initially started, not exactly as comfortable. Maybe still the quarterback, but feel like you haven't earned your stripes. But then you go out there, start making plays, have phenomenal seasons. Then you start feeling more comfortable and have the almost, you feel like you have the onus to do that. But talking a little bit
right.
more about being the quarterback at USC, I feel like growing up, you always knew who the quarterback was at USC, whether it be Carson Palmer, who was one of my favorite players growing up, Matt Leinart, Sam Darnold more recently, just won a Super Bowl. What have you learned from them? Because there isn't exactly a blueprint at USC. I mean, I know Lincoln Riley is an incredible coach, incredible offensive mastermind, but there isn't exactly a blueprint to be the best quarterback. Have you learned anything from these greats to make you a better player?
Yeah, no doubt. A few of them actually just they've reached out to me, they took time out of their day to just, drop a little wisdom on me that I could hold on to and, take not just to the team but to life. So I think they've done such a really good job, and they've um, taught me a lot of things that going on, like for example, going on road games on a third down, like if it's time to punt, somebody in the stand is gonna go and get a hot dog or whatever, or rather than on the third down you throw in an interception, then everybody's going crazy and whatnot. So just never letting the noise get to you. So I think just that really stuck to me honestly, because having that next play mentality, that next play mindset, and continue to make the next right decision. And like you said, Coach Riley, and what he has done throughout my career under his belt, just being able to learn from him, and he's the best to do it. So I think I'm super blessed to just be a part of that, and have great QBs just really really care to reach out to me, that will really stick with me to forever in my career.
For sure, for sure. It's an incredible alumni base. It's almost like a cool like Jedi council. You can just like go to them and just get wisdom from them. I'm a Star Wars guy, so I'm sorry for that. But moving on here.
No, I know what you mean. You're
No,
good.
no, no. Yeah, I'm just kidding. I want to get away from football a little bit. I just want to ask about you. Like, what does an off day look like? Like free time. What does that look like for you? You're in LA, so obviously a lot to do there.
Yeah.
It's almost too much to do. Like what? It's almost
Yeah.
overwhelming. What do you do for your free time?
Um, I like to watch some football. I think outside of that, maybe go to the beach.
All right.
Go to find a nice beach out there. Lay down in the sand, talk to my family, talk to my loved ones, and that's really it. Honestly, it's not. I'm a pretty simple guy, so
Chill guy, man. That's what it
yeah,
sounds like. I want to move on to the 2026 season here. 17 returning starters for y'all's team. 9 on offense, 8 on defense. Y'all are loaded, really.
yeah.
So, what would you say was the biggest learning experience for you last year? It could be through a game, it could be maybe in fall camp. What would you say first thing that comes to mind? You're just like, wow, I'm gonna improve on that maybe this upcoming year, or I'm gonna remember that from last year.
That's a good question. I'll probably there's a handful of things that I could name and to list of things that I definitely want to get better at. But I think for me, just one thing I want to really get better at is just starting fast as a player, and just really getting the guys on the same page as me and understanding that what it takes. And we've had a really good spring ball, so and I think just letting them know that what it takes to play at an elite level, and continue to chase that greatness. So I think yeah, that'd probably be the biggest thing, that reflecting on last season, just never get tired of doing the right things. Never get tired, because I mean, in a game of football, it's all about reps. It's all about the repetitiveness, and doing it over and over and over and over and over and over again, but not getting tired of it. So
Next play
yeah,
mentality, man. That's all it is at the end of the day. You can't dwell on
yeah,
the past. I
Yes,
am
sir.
in general. I'm just a big fan of your play style. You're a gunslinger. You're a playmaker. Very Kyler Murray-esque, if you will. Is there one game this upcoming season that you're really looking forward to? I mean, you don't even have to answer it, but like, is there one you're kind of circle and you're like, I'm really excited about this one?
Um,
You can say
Really,
all of them.
honestly, not. I mean, yeah, all of them for sure. But honestly, I'd probably say just tomorrow is what I got circled. I'm just ready on the next day. I'm ready for what's happening next, and just trying to be where my feet are. And yeah, to go back to your question, that's probably the one thing I would probably reflect on to better is to be more in the moment, be present at and where my feet are. Not to don't get too far down the road, don't look too far back, and just continue to stay where I'm at right now and who's around me and pouring into the guys around me. So.
That's spoken like a true veteran right there. That's wisdom. My last question for you here, and I ask everyone this. When people watch this USC team this upcoming year, what do you want them to see?
That competitive spirit that I was talking about, just that grit, that toughness, just how close and how much chemistry this team has. Because I mean, it's probably one of the closest teams that I've been a part of, and last year was pretty close. So that says a lot about this year's team. So I can't wait. I'm excited, and I think sky's the limit for everybody. So.
Absolutely, man. Well, I love to hear it. I appreciate you joining me, man. God bless. Good luck this season. Hopefully, stay in touch and go kill it this season, man.
Thank you, Zach. I appreciate your time
Absolutely,
so
man.
much.
I'll see you.